So let's move on to some of these, off-season additions the Patriots have made. And, a person you brought up is Jalen Mills, right? And to give some context on this conversation, the Patriots allowed 567 yards of offense tonight. That is by far the most in the Bill Belichick era. The previous high was Super Bowl 52 when they gave up 532 yards to the Eagles. Now, obviously, in this game, they went into overtime, so the regulation numbers were 487 yards, which is still a shit ton of yards. So let me ask you this. So far, and, you have your issues with Jalen Mills. Is that Jalen Mills signing a bust?
I'm gonna say obviously yes at this point, but I when they signed him, I don't think that they were banking on him to be in the role that he's in now. Obviously the situation with Stephon Gilmore is a whole nother thing that didn't work out and went against them. But in terms of the off-season signings for them, obviously we both agree that, and it'd be dumb to disagree with it, that Matthew Judon is by far and away their best signing that they've had. He has been an absolute home run, like you said. He is a beast. He didn't get to the get any sacks tonight, but it was clear he was putting pressure on Dak Prescott. He was always up there, And
a point on that, I know he didn't get any sacks, but if you watch closely, you can see how much effort the Cowboys were putting into making sure they're sliding protection towards Judon. Sometimes there's a tight end chipping on Judon. Sometimes there's a back there trying to chip on Judon. There's a lot of attention paid to Matt Judon. I'm sure it's not going to show up in layman's term on the stat sheet, but he does make a big impact on the defense.
Absolutely. Far and away their best signing. Far and away their worst signing, Jalen Mills. Our boy Puma was 100% on this.
Woo!
Yep. I'm gonna give him this one. It's hard not to. I was okay with the signing at the time, just based on what I had heard about him. I didn't really know much about him prior to them signing him. But my God, this dude is an absolute train wreck. The numbers. I think over the course of the last 5 games before tonight, his numbers in terms of being thrown at were pretty good, but let's be honest. Every key situation that he has been in coverage, he has been absolutely burned. Whether or not it's a call issue or, it's just him, just blowing it is another discussion. But absolute thumbs down on this kid. He is an absolute train wreck. You look back, I think you can go back as far as week 1 on that last drive against Miami. He's the one that got burned on the slant that gave Miami the first down and the ability to run the clock out. We'll talk about tonight. He got burned on the first touchdown to CeeDee Lamb. He didn't even know where the ball was. He was just a complete lost on that. It was a great throw by Dak, but at the same time, Mills wasn't even in he didn't even seem to know what was going on. The biggest failure for him tonight, for me, was that 3rd and 25 play where he was nowhere in the vicinity of CeeDee Lamb.
Yards.
Gave up the 24 yards and gave them the field goal to tie the game, to send the game to overtime. And then, obviously, in overtime, he got absolutely burnt by CeeDee Lamb for a basic walk-in touchdown. CeeDee Lamb was taunting him on the way to the end zone, rightfully so. And I saw a graphic. We talk about that last play of the game, and how you hear Devin McCourty talk about how they were in a tough call on that play and all that. But there was a graphic that was I think it was shared by Greg Bedard on Twitter tonight. I think I retweeted it as well. He was the only guy in coverage that was an absolute mile behind his guy. J.C. Jackson had his guy. Devin McCourty had his guy. Everybody else was covered, but Jalen Mills was trailing CeeDee Lamb, which made, Dak made a great play to scramble to get out of the pocket to make that throw. It was a great throw by Dak Prescott, don't get me wrong. But Jalen Mills was nowhere near CeeDee Lamb on that play. That CeeDee Lamb was able to high step it into the end zone. In overtime, in a huge game for this team. This guy is an absolute failure of a signing. Whether he was signed to do what he's doing now or what, you cannot count on this guy to be your number 2 corner on this team. Absolutely not at all. I am out on the Green Goblin, as he's called. I'm out on him. Puma, you're right. Bow down to you on this. You are 100% right on him. I want nothing to do with this guy anymore.
Yeah, and for me, I share your sentiment about Judon. I think obviously he's a home run. The guy is an absolute animal. I mean, he has that tough like Raven nastiness to him, and we really need that. And obviously Jalen Mills is obviously the worst out of all of those guys. In the middle somewhere, I do see Bourne kind of elevating a little bit. I'll put him in that good signing category. He's not great signing just yet, but I do like what I've seen out of him. He seems to have a rapport with Mac Jones, and Mac Jones looks for him on certain occasions. Hunter Henry, I'm unsure about just yet. He's had a couple good games. First, start of the season, he wasn't the best, but I want to see how he develops. But the rest of it, man, like Jonnu Smith, Godshaw, Anderson, all these guys, I think they've been duds so far. And that's one of our main issues as being Patriots fans right now. There's a severe lack of talent on this roster, man. Not just the free agency signings, but, we don't have to go through all the missteps in the draft. But, Sony Michel isn't here anymore, and N'Keal Harry sucks. And now I was going to put Win in the sucks category last year. I was going to give him one more year this year, but he's absolutely trash. We can all chalk that up to a bad draft pick as well. There's just a severe lack of talent. And I was asking this question to, I believe it was Puma a couple days ago. I was like, who do we build around in the future? Like, obviously, I understand Mac Jones is your centerpiece on the offense, but we don't have, like, any good studs on the defense that we can look towards the future. Like, I understand Judon is going to be there for another 2 years at the minimum, but, long term, do we have any young studs that's going to be there for the next 5-6 years for, somebody you can build around? And I don't see that anywhere across the defense or the offense.
No, I will agree with you on that, and there's I definitely put Bourne in the good category here too. He's what I listened to an interview with him not too long ago on a pregame show for a game. I really like what this kid is. He seems to have a really good head on his shoulder. He seems to be coming into his own now. I liked him with San Francisco before he came here. I'm kind of high on him to keep building on what he's doing here. Like I said, you can put that interception tonight on him a little bit, but at the end of the day, it was on Mac. And then obviously he had the big touchdown play tonight. So he's probably a top candidate for my next jersey choice for the Patriots. I haven't bought one yet because I want to see what we got here, but like I really like what that kid Bourne brings to the offense. Judon, again, we talked about him. Anderson got hurt. Raekwon McQuillan, I think is his name, got hurt. Tore his ACL out. Yeah. In training camp. So that was kind of a bummer. Jonnu Smith, a guy who I was all aboard signing, before even free agency started for the Patriots. I want to say that they're going to get him involved more, and he obviously had that bad game against the Saints. I don't think we're going to see him ever play that bad again. I really want them to involve him more in the offense, and I'm going to, again, put that on Josh McDaniels and the offensive game plan because I just don't feel that they're using him appropriapely. We were all building training camp that we were going to see him take handoffs out of the backfield. We were going to see him run jet sweeps. They haven't used him that way, and I want to see them use him in different ways because he is a freak athlete that is not being used appropriately in my eyes through 6 games this year, and I want to hope that they're going to build that in. They see what they got in their quarterback now. I think you and I will agree here that they made the absolute right choice. Playing Mac Jones rather than riding with Cam Newton through this. And they clearly have something in this kid, and they need to continue to build off it. Nelson Aguilar, he's shown a little bit of flash, but he's had some absolutely brutal drops.
Brutal drops, yeah.
Which was his MO before he got here. And you can't really like that signing at this point, especially given the amount of money that they gave him. I know that in March we did a preseason podcast. I think we were all like, let's sign Curtis Samuel here and they ended up giving all this money to Nelson Aguilar, and we were like, what the hell? Like, overpaid. We thought that was going to be probably the worst contract that they gave out for the their free agency signings, and obviously Jalen Mills is kind of taking the cake on that at this point, but not a good signing with Nelson Aguilar.